Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. On the day we are together again. On the day we are together again. I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again. We will share the same table again. We will share the same table again. I will pass you the salt, the candlelight will bend when we share the same table again. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will stop for a snack at the taco truck stand when we walk around the block hand in hand. Someday we will go back to work. Someday we will go back to work. May we be among people who respect our work. Someday we will go back to work. I will write you a letter for now. strangers I meet. It is possible to get back on our feet. I will help the strangers I meet. To the healers who keep us alive. To the healers who keep us alive. A toast to your courage, knowledge and light. To the healers who keep us alive. And the ones we love who are gone. And the ones we love who are gone. We remember the stories, and we sing the songs for the ones we love who are gone. And on the day we are together.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me late or early, whatever you want to call it. Today is now December 2nd, 2023, 1:14 a.m. in the morning. It's good to see you all. Stranger abduction, I think not. Stop texting Jinkies. I can only handle Moo so her voice so long, to be honest with you. And just the I could be doing something productive with my time. You know what I mean? More productive. That's right. Good morning. I do want to wish Grammy B a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Grammy B. Happy birthday to you. Keep my day job on it. Happy birthday, Grammy B. I hope you are 60 something, you were saying. Uh, I wish you nothing but health and goodness and happiness on your birthday and for many, many years to come. God bless you. All right, guys. Yeah, wish her a happy birthday in chat. So, Summer Wells case. What's the likelihood of stranger abduction? We are going to look at what is the likelihood of a stranger abduction. Now, there are a lot of people that go missing every year. Most are runaways, uh, and most are found. But there is a very specific uh, that we are talking about. Very specific. And what it is called, I'm going to pull it up for you if I can find it. Hold on, I need to uh, give me 2 seconds, y'all. I'm actually not prepared, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. It's called stereotypical, is what we're looking for. Stereotypical abductions. And it's very interesting because when we think of stereotypical abductions, we think of the white van, right? Or the van, a guy like the Law and Order, in a mask, and they come up and they grab a kid off of the sidewalk. But that is so incredibly rare. I can't even Well, I will tell you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you. Right. Yeah. Like the pedo and the shadow, but the pedo and the vano. Right. All right. It's very important. And that is not what I wanted to pull up. Hold on one second. Here we go. All right. Let me get my things in order here. I did a live earlier about Little Angel Overstreet. It was, if you guys were here earlier, it was a very emotional live for me. Angel Overstreet has a very special place in my heart. She was the reason I started my channel. She wasn't getting much attention whatsoever. It was just a sad thing, and that kind of wiped me out. And I told you guys I would be back live, so here I am. Here I am. All right, I want to make myself smaller here. So, what is a stereotypical kidnapping known to law enforcement? So, an estimated of 105 children were victims of stereotypical kidnappings in 2011, virtually the same as 1997. Most kidnappings involve the use of force, threats, and about 3 in 5 victims were SA'd, abused, or exploited. Victims were most commonly ages of 12 to 17. They're girls, white, and their living situations other than with two biological or adoptive parents. Half of all stereotypical kidnappings in 2011 were S motivated crimes against adolescent girls. Most perpetrators in 2011 stereotypical kidnappings were male, were ages 18 to 35, and were white or black in equal proportions. About 70% were unemployed, and roughly half had problems with drugs or alcohol. Now, if you guys remember Dr. Gary, oh, thank you, DC Prime. Thank you, my love. Appreciate you. It's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Hey, Muscles. Good to see you, my love. Good to see you. Uh, you heard Dr. Gary the other day talking about someone, that kind of fits someone that would fit the profile of, you know, going on Ben Hill Road, running up that mountain and running in someone's house or their property. Candace says the house, right? And running in and grabbing a child. Well, hey, Sassy Fresh, if you want to come up later after I'm done with this, you're welcome to. Anybody's welcome to after I'm done with this. But it would have to be, Dr. Gary said, someone who is mentally, like a crazy person, literally like a crazy person. And in my opinion, if it was a crazy person, they wouldn't have covered their tracks. Yeah. They wouldn't have covered their tracks like that, because crazy people don't know that they're crazy, right? Crazy people don't know they're crazy. And 105 was a stereotypical abduction, which is literally, I mean, 105 lives is a lot of lives, but it's nothing when it comes to people that are, that get law, just the, how can I put it? Out of all the, missing persons, it's very, 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 very rare. Less than 1% chance. Less than 1% chance. So, fewer stereotypical kidnappings. Now, remember, stereotypical kidnappings is the ones where they have non familiar, which means they don't know you from Adam. They don't know you from Adam. You've never seen them, you don't know them. The child has no idea who they are. They take them completely against their will, right? So, that is what a stereotypical kidnapping is. Fewer stereotypical kidnappings ended in homicide in 2011 than in 1997. 8% versus 40%. Most kidnappers were not violent at first contact with victims. Instead, they lured almost 70% of victims through deception or non threatening pretext, right? They lured them. 70% of that 105. So basically, like 70 out of 105 was lured in a non violent or threatening way. Oh, here's some candy. Oh, here's the puppy. That kind of, you know what I mean? Instead, they lured them, 70% of the victims, through deception or non threatening pretexts. Kidnappings involving 92% of child victims in 2011 ended in recovering the child alive. 92% in 2011. The children survived, compared to only 57% in 1997. In 1997 and 2011, it's really the same amount of child non-familiar abductions. Really vary from like 105 to 118, 120 from any given year. But the surviving those have went up significantly, which is amazing. Uh, you're so 92% lived in 2011. That's amazing. That's really amazing. All right. Where was I? 2011 estimates of child victims being detained overnight were 3 times the 1997 estimate. 80% versus 26%. All right. So estimates of children victims detained overnight were 3 times the 1997. Okay. Technologies such as cell phone and internet help law enforcement solve crimes 2/3 of the victims. So, in 1997, we didn't have all this technology that we have today, right? The cell phones, all the cameras, all of that, right? We didn't have that. So in 1997, with this, 108 people, non-familiar, was in 1997, 108 people in 2011. It's probably the same in 2016, 2021, 2022. It's almost the same, give or take 10, 15. But where was it? So 80% are not detained overnight now. 80%. So 26. Okay, got it. All right. So, but Don also forgot he wasn't there allegedly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is what, I really believe with all my heart and soul that if Don and Candace did not live where they live, this would have been solved way quicker, in my opinion. I still think it was an accident, then cover up. Candace wasn't watching Summer and something happened. That is very possible. It's very possible. My personal thoughts is that this is CPS related to some extent, in my opinion. I want to make that very clear. We have no idea as far as the public. We have no idea. Now, technically, everyone is still a suspect in the Summer Wells case. Now, when I say everyone, that doesn't mean necessarily you or me. It really doesn't. I mean, theoretically, yeah, it does, but it's not, it's really not. It means the people in that area, there is no evidence that Summer was trafficked at all. At all. Um, and I do want to show y'all this as well. Let me find it here. And I want to, because this is the only, where did it go? I'm trying to find a link here. 1 second, y'all. Okay. Found it. Ronnie Lawson said, everything is on the table, everything is being looked at, and you would think that if things like abduction or human trafficking, someone somewhere would have seen this little girl. Lawson said, quote, as much media attention, social media attention across America, one person would have seen that and made a call, but we're not ruling it out. All right. The FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, also known as the CAR team, it is a special uh, precinct of the FBI. They are regional. That way they can it's about 60 or 70 special agents across this country. And you know, they that way they can get to there rapidly, Some of them will do like the north and south and east and west, right? So that's, so they can get there, like I said, quickly. Ronnie Lawson said, quote, "We brought the FBI card team in and everything they could find. There was no indication whatsoever of a child abduction," Ronnie Lawson stated. So, Ronnie Lawson has stated that there is no sign of a child abduction. They're not ruling it out, but there's no sign of it. FBI card team has a 95% rate of finding or locating the child, the non familiar. That is what the FBI card team does. Non familiar. It's very important that that is stated as well. Foul play is still on the table, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Foul play is on the table. I don't have it pulled up here, but the news media in the days dwindling down after several days of the press conferences and all that, they stated that since there was no sign of, stranger abduction, there was no sign of her wandering off, that they are starting to look at people more closer to Summer, is what it states. Um, they would have been taken. Gone is their language. It is not abduction. It's worse. And they refer to Summer as past tense. So, yeah, she was just gone. She was just gone. It's insane. So, the FBI card team, like I said, has a 95%, I want to say, child return rate. That means alive or not, of finding this non-familiar suspect. They did not find that in the Summer Wells case. And like I told you guys, statistically, where was it? Let me pop this down 1 second. Statistically, about 108 in a population of 320, 330 million of us in this country, about 108 out of all 50 states is a stranger abduction. You are far more likely to have an accident happen. You are more likely for your parents to hurt you. You just are, statistically. SL, thank you so much for gifting 2 memberships, my dear. I appreciate that. If you was one of the lucky ones to receive the gift, please thank our beloved SL, who is a sweetheart of our channel. One of our sweethearts. Thank you. We never left the house. No stranger came there. No. No. If there is, so imagine this. Can you, if you was, let's try to think like an abductor. right? Let's try to get in the mind of this stranger abductor, right? Now, this is someone who is, probably not going to be very close by, right? It is very far from any interstate. This is Beach Creek is a 2-lane country road. You have houses and fields, and that's it. And that's it, really. You turn onto Ben Hill Road, and it is a 1-lane road. And there's a hill with, a driveway. You don't know what's up there. PG's here. Hey, PG. PG, if you want to come up, you're welcome to. Um, Hello, muscles, darling. Thank you. They have to be confident in there is no abduction theory, or they would have alerted our area, in my opinion. Yes. And I'm putting something together right now. Listen, they are not saying if you was at, the pond on June 15th, 2021, right? If you was at the pharmacy on June 15th, if you was at the hospital on June 15th, they're not saying that at all. So, in my opinion, Brandy, hey lovey, how are you? Good to see you. So, in my opinion, that tells me that I feel like they okay, after 2.5 years, there's, technically a year ago, over a year and a half ago, the last press conference they did, they said everything is still on the table. Now, they said this for Angel Overstreet's case too. They said nothing other than they were searching for her. We all thought the dad's story was BS. He said that he handed Angel over to CPS 2 weeks prior. Don saying CPS kidnapped, right? Kind of both, in my opinion, are CPS related. My opinion. Now, others have different theories. None of us know for sure. But they never said nothing. For an Angel Overstreet, her case was she went missing before Summer did. And they didn't say nothing. They said everything's, basically on the table. Like I said, even though we thought it was the dad, I was very, in my opinion, positive. The dad was going to, he said he gave it, CPS, and the dad had this horrible background, just like Don has a horrible background. The mother had a horrible background. She had multiple kids, every one of them taken away too, just like Candace. What about the neighbor that heard the screaming? Now, Ronnie Lawson says it is not confirmed. I personally believe Jody Sue heard a scream. I personally do. There are others that don't think that that happened. Now, I want to be very clear. Ronnie Lawson says there's no evidence of that. But, I don't think there could, how could there be any evidence of a scream happening other than someone else hearing it, which there's not really that many people. There was no other houses really around other than Jody Sue, or if it was on camera, right? Now, I believe Summer went missing way before 6:26 when that first 911 call went in. I definitely, let me show you this. Right? 309, the milk jugs photos. 315, per Candace Bly Wells. We got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She jumped right up, right? I unbuckled her and she got out of the car. 3:30, per Don Wells, he stated in an interview that all the phones are wiped this point forward. So 15 minutes. 15 stinking minutes after they got to that house, 3 phones are wiped clean. 3 phones are wiped clean. 3. And Don wasn't even there, allegedly. Where the heck is the gate? It wasn't, it's not really a gate. It was more a cable, right? It's a cable that they had in front of there. One sec. What a coinky dink. What a coinky dink. Now, why would that happen? No, law enforcement would never, never wipe a phone. They're never going to wipe a phone because phones are very important pieces of evidence. Very important pieces of evidence. Now, people can wipe phones, right? Or they can try, at least. They can try to wipe phones. But Don says, yeah, that was really strange. Really strange. All 3 of our phones. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how when they got home, not, 2 hours after Summer went missing, not 9 o'clock in the morning, from not like 9 o'clock in the morning to noon, one phone, erased, but 3 phones. Don Wells stated that. Very strange. And it just so happens they didn't want to use those phones that were given back to them. They didn't want to use those phones. They did not want to use those phones that was in that they took to the lab and checked them. They went and got some brand new phones. All three of them. They were perfectly good phones. They were perfectly good phones. Why would you want to get three new phones? Nothing wrong with them. I think it's also interesting how Candace says, I laid my phone down on that tailgate. Why? Why would you lay a phone down on a tailgate? Is that part of your, in my opinion, your alibi that you want someone to know that that phone was right there and you picked up your mom's phone? Hmm. Yeah. Now, a lot of, there are creators out there and stuff, and they, they they talk about just what, you know, the police say that there's no sign of abduction, uh, you know, what the TBI says and stuff. Now, I we talk about that obviously, but I also talk about the BS that the parents openly talk about. I talk about their past. Now, their past would not be as relevant if they didn't have a missing kid, right? Yes, the Murdoch case, very good example. Yep. Mhm. Your past doesn't really matter up until something goes down, right? If you're not living like you were in the past, then, you don't got as much to worry about. But, you know, you're admitting to essaying your sisters. You've been in places where shit's happening, really bad stuff. You've had violent RSOs. No, not RSOs. Violent child Rs. Yeah, be good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Things that make you go hum. Did Grandis leave the property? Grandis left. Yep. Now, honestly, Grandis got the hell out of there. She didn't go like immediately, but she got the hell out of there. Very important comment. Father describing a possible suspect with his own traits. Yes. I think Don projects very much, very, very much himself. Very much so. The photo was Summer with the yellow bags behind her. Summer looked bruised all over. The yellow bags behind her. I'm not. I'm literally from here. Tennessee proud. Tennessee's a great state. in Hawkins County. There's some great people there, but there's some fuck shit that goes on there too. But there is everywhere as well. Where is Grandis? It's on Smiley's community page. What's here? Let me look at Smiley's community page. Grandis is give me 1 second here. Here, I'll show you Smiley's. I don't know what we're looking at, but someone said Smiley's. Sorry I didn't get to play this time, but this one is one of my favorite requests. Thank you for all you do tonight. Please, someone tell Miss Christine nicely she won to email me the prize. Oh, okay. Amber Alert, Tinton County Sheriff's Office. Where's this at? 11:39, November 30th, the Tinton County Sheriff's Office received an open 911 call from a resident at 4600 Skyline Loop in Victor, Idaho. Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to respond to a disturbance heard over the line by a 911 dispatcher. Deputies arrived at the residence and located a non-responsive female subject. The female, identified as, I think it's Callie Jean Randall, 38, of Victor, Idaho, was found deceased at the residence, and her death is currently being investigated by the sheriff's office and the Idaho State Police as a homicide at this time. The sheriff's office is currently attempting to locate Jeremy Albert Best, the husband of the deceased, who is believed to have fled the area with son Zeke Gregory Best. Best is believed to be in a black 95 Chevrolet Tahoe SUV with Idaho plates 1T39349. Best is believed to be very dangerous. Members of the public know his whereabouts. Oh my God. What's going on in Idaho? Y'all can't even see the page. What the hell's going on in Idaho? Tracy with an I says, wonder if they bought AT&T phones because they know that gets 911 service. Every phone that aren't turned on can still make. Yeah. Make a 911 call. Yes. I forget where. I want to say it was AT&T phones, but I have. Hey, Patricia, good to see you. Idaho is wild these days. Yes, it really is wild because I'm talking about two things at one time. Guys, I'm really sorry. Idaho doesn't have a big population at all. It's an empty state. It's really empty comparatively. Hey, now I live in Idaho. Oh, it's a great state. Great state. But what the hell's going on? Christina, what's going on? You can get 911 service anywhere. Well, I'll say this. 1 second. Let me get a drink of my Diet Pepsi. I hate to like drink my Diet Pepsi. People snacking. My sugar's low. Sorry. What was I talking about? I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, Dawn and Candace and Grandis. they have, or at least had, prepaid phones, non-contract phones. Now, they have had contract phones in the past. I'm telling you this, I wish they would stop with the non-contract phones. I know a lot of people like them, but the burner phones, like, at the very minimum, you need a name on a phone. Like, you have to register a car, you have to register every other utility or whatever, right? Coburger and Gallo are not from Idaho. I know, but why are they going there? It's like, what the hell? I know. I'm just kidding, but uh 5 bar Candace. Love it when Brooks calls Candace 5 bar Candace. 5 bar. 5 bar. Brooke says some funny shit sometimes. She really cracks me up. Especially on the phone, she's very funny. She's really funny on the phone. She's really funny on the phone. But because, like, I'll tell you something, when you have a contract phone, it's easier for law enforcement. It's easier for um, private eyes to know where you've been. I'll just say that. Uh, I know this for a fact. And say, for instance, if I hired a private detective, they can show me if they have a contract phone where they've been. It'll it'll tell you where they've been. Now, that's a private eye, like a private detective. They can tell you that. And I know that for a fact. So, but, you go to Walmart, you go wherever, and you get a phone, you scratch off a card or whatever, you enter the number, and it just gives you service. You have no idea whose that phone is registered to. No idea. So I mean, can they be tracked? Yes, they can. I mean, for instance, so let's say Don and Candace, or anyone, not just Don and Candace, bought 2 track phones or AT&T prepaid phones at Walmart. Well, they can go to Walmart, right, and see how many of such and such phones that they have sold in the month of June, in the month of May, or whatever, right? And pull up those times and see who bought them. Did they pay with cash? Did they pay with credit card? Who bought them, right? Now, if they've got Don or Candace or whoever they're looking for on camera, especially if they're paying with card, well, you have some explaining to do. You bought these 2 phones on whatever day, right? you activated them. Now they can get the serial numbers and everything on those phones, and then they can see where they've been pinging that way. It's just a lot more. It's a hell of a lot more work. Yes, they will ping. They absolutely will. I mean, every cell phone pings. But it's harder. It's a lot harder. Um, we did talk about cordless phones and landlines last night on my other channel. Yeah, we did. I mean, anything electronic now can pretty much be tracked. It pretty much can always be tracked. I can get service in dead zones on my track phone. I can get service in dead zones on my track phone. Now, what's also interesting is Don said they never lost service. Don never lost service the entire time of him driving like a bat out of Hades. Now he says it normally takes like I think 40 or some minutes. He said he probably made it in 25 minutes. From door to door, from where he was on June 15th, where he says he was, to 110 Ben Hill Road, it's 31 minutes. It's 31 minutes. And that is driving at normal speed. Now, I think Summer, in my opinion, is close, but she's not that close. That is for sure. That is for sure. And I'm telling you, the best police force you could find is on Monkey's case. Honestly. Very much so, Arctic. Very much so. Now, an interesting thing is Don says he talked, and you said metadata, so uh said he talked to Candace the entire time on Facebook Messenger. Hmm, that's interesting, right? That's really interesting. So they should have that. They should have that. I do believe, in my opinion, that in 2024 we will finally have answers to Summer's case. I really think in 2024 there will be arrest. I do. In my opinion, people need to stop saying where Summer's body is, because where Donna tells where she is, the wells may move her, in my opinion. Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I try to be respectful to, you know, people who believe in psychics and people who don't believe in psychics. Now, I like Ryan. I love Ryan. He is a great, 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 great guy. Very humble, down to earth, wants to find Summer. And he's not was really big into psychics or anything. From what we talked the little bit the other night on PG's panel. But I respect and am so incredibly thankful for Ryan for, regardless of whether a psychic tells him to look in this area or that area. And also, Sassy, he doesn't put it out until he's looked in that area first. So by the time you see it, it's already been searched. It's already been searched. So there's that. And so that way, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. But, I'm not a big believer in psychics. I think there is probably a very low amount of maybe true psychics out there. Um, but like I told Ryan the other night, I'm just thankful that he's out there searching. And even if they don't find Summer, that's another place where we know she's not. She's not. You know, I'm not either. If Summer would have been found. Well, I mean, I understand what you mean, Sassy Fresh, to be honest with you. So, it's I I do believe in signs. Yes. I do believe in signs. I believe in intuition. Uh but I think we all have that. We all have that gut feeling sometimes. An instinct. Instincts or intuition is something we all have. We are it it's in every, you know, it's in all creatures. But I don't I you know, I think a lot of people may give intuition and they think, "Oh, well, my intuition is saying she might be here, or my gut feeling is she might be there." And they use that, in my opinion. Can you say that the FBI is on the case? FBI is in partnership in Summer's case. Are they the lead on Summer's case? No. But, and this is the thing as well. Hawkins County, TBI, you know, they may have more than we know on Summer's case. And, if the prosecutors are not comfortable with taking it, they say, go back and find more before I'm going to indict someone, right? I do believe if I'm just going to say if they say everyone is a suspect after 2.5 years, not in my opinion, not everyone is a suspect. No. Mm-mm. Nope. If you haven't been able to clear people in 2.5 years, then we are screwed. We're screwed. They obviously have cleared people, maybe not publicly, maybe not publicly, but they have certainly cleared people in their investigation. Absolutely. They're just not going to tell you and I. They didn't tell us anything about uh Angel Overstreets. Not a dang thing. Not a dang thing. They told us more probably. There was obviously this high suspicion in Angel Overstreet that it was the father, right? But we had no idea, like at all, where she might have been or anything, where her body might have been. We thought maybe on the property. They drained the ponds. They looked. He did. He said that. Yeah, he said that on that phone call. He did. He certainly did. But they haven't formally announced that, who, that this person is cleared, this person is cleared, this person is clear. Obviously, privately, they have absolutely cleared a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, Don is the man who said that he may end up going, down for this. If I was innocent, I'd have been like, there's no way in hell I could go down for this because I didn't do it. Look at my alibi. They say, um, the father says he was at work, right? That day. Don was not, in my opinion, at work all day whatsoever, in my opinion. Um, I'm going to show you this 1 second. Try to pull something up. Mm. Let me see if y'all can hear this. Because it's late. I don't want to read it. Could y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all could hear that. No? Let me try now. Can you hear that? Who takes a car to work, Justin? Well, especially a, a car that still no? Oh, well, no wonder. Has my sound been off? I mean, I know my sound hasn't been off, but 1 second. Has it sounded funny? Because I think I had the wrong microphone on. Can you hear it? Mother trucker. All right. All right. So anyway, this guy, he was stealing panties. He was stealing panties. And they they caught him. And the experts are saying he did some R-ing after that. And investigators are saying that, or not necessarily investigators and professionals are saying that where was it? These weird fetishes and uh panty thefts and sock stealing, underwear theft can be a warning sign that a suspect is capable of more dangerous crimes. Quote, one of the things it could indicate is that a person is working their way toward RAPE of a real person, end quote, said criminal profiler Pat Brown, CEO of Pat Brown Criminal Profiling Agency. Quote, by sneaking into someone's place, i.e., Donald Wells, they're showing that they can invade someone's territory. What that person is showing the other person is that he has no problem invading his or her space. Taking someone's underwear does two things, Brown said. It shows that you were there and that you're taking a souvenir of your accomplishment. He is getting as near to the person's skin so to speak, as he can possibly get. Yeah, Pat Brown is on YouTube now. Yep. Yep. But think about that. Think about that. I don't know what mic. I hear you. I don't know what mic. Okay, it's okay. So, that's scary. That's very scary. And panty thieving and all of that is considered a gateway. And Don knew this woman was sleeping. How the hell did he know she was sleeping? She was actually trying to unalive herself. She took a bunch of sleeping pills. She had no idea Don was even looking at her and in her in her garage, pilfering through her lingerie. Just absolutely insanity. Insanity. I've got several more articles on here's one in the Seattle Times. But this one, where was that at? This one is a study, and uh, I don't even feel like going into it right now. I just can't. I can't do it right now. I just can't even talk about it right now. Uh, he could have been mentally driving her crazy, stalking her. He wasn't, to be fair, BB. He was not. Uh, she didn't even know him really, like at all. She her child and Don Wells Jr. I guess it's Junior. I'll just say Don Wells the third. Don Wells is not the senior, not the oldest one, but Don Summers' dad. His son, Don Wells, was friends with the woman's child when they were younger. She didn't even know him. She's like, to be honest with you, I talked to her. I've talked to her. And she said that they were kind of trashy, Dawn and them. She's like, they were just, I didn't want my kids to be around them, kind of thing. How did he get caught? He got caught by the police. He got caught by the police. Now, I would like to know, does Don still do this? He got caught by the police that one time. This could not be, in my opinion, a one and done. This is not a one and done. This is not a one and done. Hey, Chloe. Absolutely not a one and done. Couldn't be. He was hiding on the side of a van. Yes, he was. A leopard doesn't change its spots. No, it doesn't, SL. He's more sophisticated predator these days, in my opinion. Yep. Yeah. I just tried muscles. It kicked my card out and wouldn't take it. Are you trying to join memberships or something? You got an Apple? I don't know. YouTube's been crazy. It's just absolutely been crazy. Hey, Kathy. I wonder if he's ever taken JS. Well, Andy says he thinks Dawn, it was Dawn that taught. Oh, I would bet money, in my opinion, that Dawn has peep been a peeping Tom at Jody Sue's. Nothing would surprise me. He gives me. I just think there's this really dark side of Dawn that he goes at times. Dixie, how are you, baby? Thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you, my love. It's very kind of you. Thank you. If he was the one that got it, the membership, please thank Dixie in the Tennessee mountains. We're Appalachian Americans, aren't we, Dixie? I think the Coca-Cola influences him. I think the Coca-Cola and the alcohol. It certainly does. Hello, Yaya. Missing in TN. How are ya? I don't see a join button on the main page. You got an apple? That might be why. Hold on a second. Okay. Hey, Blue Eyes. Good to see you. Who remembers when Don was talking about letting church people live on the land? I do remember that. He wanted to do that in Utah, though, I think it was. We're on our year anniversary. Oh my God. Muscles. I'm blushing. Thank you. So sweet. Sending hugs you. I'm usually quite large. Oh, thank you, my dear Pixie. Thank you. I'm glad you came out of the bushes. I like to see new names. I like to see old names too. Not old names, but everyone. I like to see people. So why was he still hanging around the house after he took the red panties? I think he was busted coming out and he saw the cops and he was like hiding under the van or hiding the van, like he was hiding behind the van, and the cops got out and he's like crouching below. I've read the police report, and he had panties, red panties in his pocket, and he said he was going to pleasure himself with it later. First, he lied and he said there was his wife's panties. And then he thought, oh, that's probably not a good idea because they'll call my wife. And then he's like, no, wait, I think he said first they're my girlfriend's panties or one or the other. And then he said it's my wife's or my girlfriend's. And then he's like, okay, I have stuff in the garage, but the owner of this house doesn't know that that my stuff is in her garage, which is the stupidest thing. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, sorry about that. Don was had the night. Yeah, I'm sure he was. He's always how violated that poor woman must have felt. Oh my God. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Hey, Outdoorsy. Hey, Penny. Unbelievable. Hey, Lisa. Everyone knows Candace owns one pair of underwear, so they knew it was a lot. Well, he was actually he he was actually married, I think, to Pam at this time. Yeah, he was married to Pam at this time. December 7th giveaway special for my birthday party if Justin and I does a late live. LOL. Ah, okay. Daily. Hello, Bobby Ray. Good to see you. Karen. That's so. Well, I was just reading an article just a second ago, and it was the last name was Best. That's interesting. I tip Ziggy. It works. I don't know. It's it's crazy, craziness. But the likelihood of uh anyone coming up and abducting a child is less than 1%. Less than 1%. I'm going to show you some more statistics here. And I'm just kind of chilling with y'all right now, and we're talking about some things. I'm not as formal as I normally am because it's too late. But when it's so approximately 107, 110 child non-familiar abductions happen a year in this country, all 50 states. Non-familiar. That is a stranger abducting a child that they have no idea who they are, you know, at all. It's less than 1%. Now, like I always say, now factor in the parent's history of Don's SA admitting history, the stories he has told us, the panny stories from the police reports. Don living with two of Arkansas's biggest child R's. Both were on a number 9 from a 0 or sorry, from a 1 to a 10. Both were classified as a number 9 out of 10, which is as almost high as you can get to you will reoffend and violence. Don lived with these people. He lived with the kids as well. The same kids. This is what pisses me off, y'all. The not only did Don and Pam and Candace lived on the same property in the same house as these offenders, they lived with the children as well. losing all their kids and all that. I think Lawson Johnson died. He was homeless. After all that, and where they live, Don and Candace, on a hill in the middle of nowhere on a dead end road. Their stories don't they don't sound good. I mean, their time frame, their alibis or whatever. Now, if it starts out at 1%, what are we down to now, in my opinion? What are we down to now? I'm rambling, Shannon. It's not yeah. I'm rambling. I probably need to get off here. But it's crazy, right? Where was it? I'm trying to find it here. 99% of juvenile kidnappings cases were found alive. Stranger abductions made up about point 0.35% of missing cases. Stranger abductions. Out of all of abductions in 2022, National Center of Missing and Exploited Children reports in 2022 stranger uh, abductions compromised about 0.35% of missing child cases. Most missing children were runaways, 91.68%. And 1 in 6 were likely victims of child T. Only 0.35%. So it's not even 1% in 2022. 115 children were victimized of stereotypical kidnappings. That means the national or NIS SMART, the United States Department of Justice reported 115 cases of children as victim of stereotypical kidnappings. This crime involves a stranger or acquaintance holding the child under any of the following conditions: keeping the child overnight or at least 1 hour, intended to keep the child permanently, transported the child 50 miles or more, demand a ransom, or kills the child. 115 children. New Mexico is ranked first for kidnappings in the United States. What was it? Family members and caregivers accounted for 33% of human trafficking recruiters. Um, Most males, 92%, were charged with human trafficking in the U.S. District Court. The most common type of human trafficking is sexual exploitation. Uh, by the age to 92% of Americans, children. 1 second. So it's just almost nothing they say makes sense. They have told several versions on Candace and Grandis and Ronnie Lawson are missing the timeline. It's very sad. It's very sad. Just doesn't make sense. Guys, I'm going to jump off here. I need to go to bed. But I will be live tomorrow evening. I've got some stuff I have to do in the morning. I only some people need a lot of sleep. I need about 4 hours. After 4 hours, I'm ready to roll. It's interesting the reason a male would kidnap a child versus a female. It is. Yeah. Thank you, Sonia. It was a lot less formal than it normally is, but thank you, baby kisses. I'm 3 to 4 hours too max. Yeah. I've just never. I don't need a lot of sleep. I don't need a lot of sleep, but I do need 4 hours. About 4 hours. Yeah, I know this case. I just thought, yeah. Summers, we're going to get answers in 2024. I really think so, guys. I really think so. And after today with Angel Overstreet, I'm even more confident. Yeah, it's coming. Love you all. God bless each and every single one of you. Thank you, Lord, for justice starting for Angel Overstreet. And we are expecting that, Lord, for Monkey Michael Vaughn and Summer Wells and the Cal City Boys and all of these missing kids. All these missing kids. God bless each and every one of you. Good night.